Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a really fun video. I think you guys are going to learn a lot because I'm going to be going over 5 of my current favorite tips and techniques that I've started to incorporate into my beauty routine that I feel have made a huge difference. I have a skincare, a concealer, a foundation, a blush, and a hair care tip that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. A portion of today's video is also in partnership with Clarence. I'm going to be featuring some of their products today. I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Let me know if you have any other tips or techniques that you've been incorporating into your beauty routines that you feel have made a big difference in the end. I would love to hear them down below. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Without further ado, let's get into it. So the first tip that I want to share with you guys is something that you've probably seen going around for a while now. I feel like it's kind of a trend that's picked up speed, and I definitely jumped on that trend, and I've been riding along with it since I pretty much discovered it, because I really have found that it's made a huge difference in the way my makeup has been applying and just also the way my skin feels. And it's also something I never considered, and that is shaving my face. Pretty much everybody has peach fuzz on their face, and that's that really fine hair that you pretty much can't see, but it's still hair that's going to grab onto any product that you put on top of it. So if you remove that peach fuzz, your foundation and all of your base products are just going to go on your skin so much smoother. Something else that this is really helpful with is actually dry skin. I find that whenever I shave my entire face, my skin just feels so much smoother because I'm pretty much kind of like exfoliating and removing the surface level of my skin, so it gets rid of all of that like rough texture. I totally thought that if I were to start doing this, all the peach fuzz on my face would grow back thicker and coarser and darker, but that didn't happen. I don't know if that's because of the razor that I'm using. This isn't just like a typical like body razor. This is like a single blade razor. Maybe do like a test patch just to kind of see what happens. I don't want you to yell at me for me telling you to do this. Obviously, also use caution when doing this. You are putting a razor to your face, so you do need to be careful. So I did get these razors off of Amazon. I'll link them down below for you guys to check out. And they're really easy to use. So pretty much what I do is I kind of hold my skin taut and I go downwards very gently. I don't like press hard on my face at all. And I just go throughout my entire face and I get rid of all that peach fuzz. By the way, if you're into just like oddly satisfying things, just seeing all that peach fuzz just like slide off of your face is the most satisfying thing ever. This is so gross, but I just want to show you guys. I don't know if you can even see, but that's the peach fuzz that came off my face. That's new. It's something I've never done on my channel before. Definitely be careful around your hairline and around your eyebrows. You do not want to accidentally, you know, shave in a new hairline or shave off an eyebrow. Oh yeah, baby, you see that? Ooh, look at that. Ah, that's so satisfying. Okay, face is now shaved, feeling nice and smooth now. So normally what I like to do after I do this is I will apply an oil all over my face. I just feel like it kind of soothes everything. Not that this is really super abrasive, but I just feel like the oil really sinks in nicely, especially after doing something like this. So this is the beard and face oil from Alper Oils. This isn't just meant for beards though, although it is kind of ironic that I'm using it after shaving my face. The reason why this is good for beards is because it's really like quick absorbing. So it can be used for either or, and I really like it. Also because it absorbs really quickly into my face. So I'm just gonna kind of press that all over my skin. So the next tip that I have for you guys is concealer related, and it's a really simple tip that I think is super easy for you guys to try out or try to incorporate within your routine to see if it does make a difference in the way that you apply your foundation. And it's something that I never really thought of doing up until recently, and it just makes so much sense. And that is applying your concealer first before applying your foundation. So what that does is it actually makes it so you don't apply as much foundation as you normally would, and that's because you're pretty much already covering up the redness, discoloration, whatever you want to cover up already with a full coverage concealer. And so in the end, you're just going to be left with a much more kind of lightweight finish throughout the face. And that's what I really love. And I can't believe I haven't been doing this. I'm going to take first my Hourglass concealer in the shade Cedar. This is a really nice kind of medium to full coverage concealer, and it matches my skin pretty well too, which is important. So I'm going to apply it underneath my eyes where I normally would. I'm also gonna apply it on the areas of my face that have a little bit more redness. So around my nose, on my chin, on my nose and also kind of on my cheeks. It looks like a lot, but it's actually a very, very small amount of product. And then I'm just gonna take a concealer brush and just pat it out. The point here is not to replace your foundation with concealer. Like, don't put the concealer all over your face because that kind of just defeats the purpose. You just want to use a really, really thin layer of that concealer, which is what I did, on only the areas where you feel like you really, really need it. So now I actually have my third tip that I kind of want to intertwine with this tip because it has to do with the foundation. So a couple weeks ago, I did a video where I followed a Harouche makeup tutorial. So essentially she takes her moisturizer on the back of her hand and kind of stipples the brush in it. And then she goes in with that moisturized brush and she applies her foundation with that brush. Now this isn't the same as just like mixing your foundation in with your moisturizer. I thought it was, but it's totally not. It really gives a very different effect to the skin. I find that with a moisturized brush, it kind of just shears out your foundation, gives it a very, very natural appearance, and it really just does a good job of meshing it into the skin. So it doesn't look like it's sitting on top of your skin anymore. It really looks like it's just a part of it. I don't really know exactly how it does it. I just know that that technique has made my foundation honestly never look better. So for my moisturizer today, I'm gonna be using my Clarins Reboost Refreshing Hydrating Cream. I've been really liking this for before my makeup because it's quite lightweight. It has kind of like a creamy gel texture. So I find it gives kind of that perfect amount of hydration, but it doesn't leave the skin like too oily or too greasy. Also, 89% of the ingredients that are in here are naturally sourced, which is really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just take out a little bit of the moisturizer, put it on the back of my hand, taking my foundation brush and really working the moisturizer into the brush. I'm even gonna put a little bit more. And then I'm gonna take my current favorite foundation, which is my Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. I'm gonna pump out pretty much a quarter of what I normally put on my face. So normally with this foundation, I use 1 to 2 pumps. I'm gonna pump out half a pump because that's all I'm really gonna need since I concealed already. I'm gonna pick up the foundation with my moisturized brush, and then I'm just gonna start to airbrush this onto my skin. So I'm just pretty much putting this on all the areas that I didn't already put the concealer. So that's pretty much just my forehead and my cheeks. And then whatever's left over on my brush, I'll kind of just glide over those areas that I did apply that concealer, just so everything looks like one and there's not like extreme contrast anywhere. The craziest thing though is that my skin looks so perfected. It looks like a full coverage, totally, but looks like a full coverage without it looking heavy at all. And you see that nice little glow that my skin has? That is not from the foundation, that's actually from the moisturizer. Another product that I really love from the My Clarins range is the Remove Radiance Exfoliating Powder. This is another really great product to use before applying your makeup because since it is an exfoliator, it will get rid of all of the dead skin on your face. And because it is a powder exfoliator, it pretty much looks like flour. Like it's very, very, very fine in texture. So you mix that powder with water, it's gonna kind of create a little bit of a paste, and then you massage that all over your face. And because it's such a fine powder, it's not abrasive at all. So it's really great, especially if you do have sensitive skin. I really like it because it is so gentle, and I typically like to avoid exfoliating my face before applying my makeup because I find it kind of irritates my skin just a little bit. It gets it really red, and I try to avoid that right before applying my makeup. But with a product like this, it's so gentle, it doesn't irritate your face, it just does its job. It gets rid of the dead skin. There are a ton of other products in the My Clarins range. There are a couple different moisturizers. This one is for normal skin. There's also one for oily skin and for dry skin. They also have a micellar cleansing milk, a cleansing gel, a sleepy mask, even like a blur stick. So the fourth technique that I have really been incorporating quite a bit in my routine is a blush technique. Now I get asked all the time how to know what colors to match with your lipstick, to match with your blush, to match with your eyeshadow. I totally get that coordinating colors could be a little bit tricky, a little bit confusing. So really the best thing that you could possibly do to eliminate all of that confusion is to use the same product in your eyes, your cheeks, and your lips. I know this isn't necessarily something that's totally mind-blowing, but I think it's important to remember that you don't always have to overcomplicate your routine. And this is something that I do very, very often, especially in my everyday routine, because it's quick, it's easy, and I pretty much just don't have to think. So what I do is I take a cream blush. This one over here is from Ilia. It's the Color Haze Multi Matte Pigment in the shade Before Today. Some cream products can be tricky to wear, especially on the eyes. So I made sure to show you guys a cream that I feel like sets down well on the skin so that you don't have to worry about it creasing or fading. And this one is really, really great for that. Pick up a little bit of the product and just dab it first on my cheeks. Create a nice little flush over there. It's a really pretty color. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of this on a fluffy crease brush. Just gonna pick up a teeny tiny bit and then just pull this into the crease. So what I'll often do is, even if I have like a brown smoky eye going on, I'll take a little bit of whatever blush I'm wearing, whether that's a powder blush or a cream blush or a liquid blush. I'll just take a little bit of it on my crease brush, put it into my crease, and it's just a really great and easy way to kind of tie everything together. Even if it's just kind of a subtle little hint of the color, it's still going to carry the color from your cheeks to your eyes. And again, it's just gonna make everything look really nice and pulled together. And of course, lastly, I'm gonna put it on my lips as well. I know that obviously only creams and liquids could be applied to the lips. You can't apply a normal powder blush to your lips. I mean, you probably can if you really tried, but it's not the most practical thing in the world. What I really want to put across though is, if you feel like things are looking a little bit disjointed, if you feel like you want to kind of bring your look together a little bit more, by taking a little bit of your blush just into the crease of the eye, like just doing that is going to make such a big difference in kind of pulling everything together. Putting it on the lips too is kind of just like the cherry on top of the sundae, and it just makes for, again, a really quick and easy, foolproof, don't have to think about it type of look. So the last tip that I have for you guys is actually not a makeup tip, but it is a hair tip, because I have been growing out my hair for the last 9 months, and I have been also trying to healthify my hair because my hair has been through a lot over the years. I went through a phase where I was completely platinum blonde. A lot of you guys may remember that. And through all of that bleaching, my hair was destroyed. So when I started dyeing my hair back towards like my more natural color, you really saw all of the damage that I created with all of that bleach. Now, I actually made the transition a long time ago. It was in 2017. And between 2017 and now, I was doing what I thought was enough to get my hair back to its proper health. I was doing hair masks, I was limiting the amount of bleach that was on my hair, I was really taking care of it. But one thing that I was not doing was giving myself a lot of haircuts. Now, just like I'm sure a lot of you, I never really understood the logic between cutting your hair often and growing your hair, because I felt like if I was constantly cutting my hair, how in the hell would my hair actually grow longer? But I started to test out that theory, and I started cutting my hair every 6 weeks, probably starting about 10 months ago, and my hair has never looked healthier, and it has never grown faster since I started doing that. And that is my 5th and final tip. Now, before I was getting these regular trims, even though my hair was growing as hair does, every time it would grow, it would pretty much be cut off again, because my split ends would get so bad that they would just cut off. And so my hair would just really never get past a certain point, because it would just constantly break off. And so because of that, my ends also just looked really frazzled. They didn't look very thick, and it just created a lot of breakage throughout my entire head. So now I get a trim every 6 weeks, and every time I go, we cut off a really, really small amount, like probably about that much, but it's enough to get rid of any of those split ends that are starting to form. And so because I never really get that many split ends, my hair is able to grow long, and it's also able to look thick, and it's able to look healthy, which is amazing. And it has not grown this well in a very, very long time. Like since before I started coloring and straightening my hair all the time. And trust me, I know going to the hairdresser every 6 weeks is kind of a crazy thing to do. You could also totally do these trims yourself. You're cutting off like such a small amount. You can easily just go burp, burp. That is probably one of the biggest things that I started to incorporate in like my beauty routine that I feel like has made such a huge difference. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. It was super short and sweet. I hope that you enjoyed it and learned something new today. Of course, give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.